Hello and welcome to Algebra 2, lesson number 4. Today we are going to talk about a bunch of awesome things like the distributive property with very ugly numbers. Let's check that out. We have 4a squared over b times b to the negative 2 over a to the fourth minus 3ba over a squared. So your first step is going to be to take whatever's in front and put that in front of the first term and in front of the second term. So just like distributive property would normally do, we just have ugly things now. So we have 4a squared b over b, which is the front, times b to the negative 2 over a to the fourth, minus, now we're going to copy this again here, 4a squared over b times 3ba over a squared. From there, we're going to simplify as normal. We're going to bring everything to the top. So I have 4a squared b to the negative 2. Then I'll bring this b up, bring this a up. Remember, if I bring something from the bottom to the top, I change the sign. So I have 4a squared times 3ba. I'm going to bring this b up. It was b to the 1. Now it's b to the negative 1. This was a squared, now it's a to the negative 2. Finally, I'm going to combine powers. So I have a squared minus 4, that's a to the negative 2. 2 minus 1 is, negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Minus 4 times 3 is 12. A squared, a to the negative 2 gives me a. B to the negative 1 gives me b to the 0. And that is my beautiful answer from that quite ugly problem. Moving on, like a cow would moo, now we are going to solve equations. Remember that what you do to one side of the equation must be done to the other side of the equation. So we have 12 minus 2x plus 5 equals negative 2 plus x plus 3. Oh dear. I'm not erasing well today. Plus x minus 3. Okay, your job, your one and only job, when solving an equation is to move all x's to one side, all numbers to other side. The way we're going to do this is we actually go in reverse order. So normally you would go, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This time we're going to go backwards. So we're going to do addition and subtraction first, then multiply and divide. So with this problem that I wrote way up there, so I'm going to rewrite it here so I can show all of my work. My first step is that I want to, this is gross. Okay, so I have to get all the x's to one side, which means I must break these x's out. Okay, so I am going to distribute these. Now, I want to move by addition and subtraction because all of these are added, all of my x's to one side. So I'm going to subtract x. And I'm going to move all the numbers to the other side. Again, if I do something to one side, I must do it to the other side. Why did I subtract? Because this is a positive 12. Why did I add 5? Because it's negative. You're always doing the opposite operation. So if I cancel these, that goes away, and that goes away. So I have negative 2x minus x, which is negative 3x. Sometimes it's good if you draw the little line so you can see where you're at. Equals, I'm always going to line up my equal sign. Negative 2 minus 12 is negative 14. Negative 3 plus 5 is plus 2. So if I combine these, I get negative 12. My last step is to do multiplication and division. Since it's negative 3 times x, I'm going to divide by negative 3. So x equals 4. If I have extra time, like at the end of a test, I could totally take that 4, plug it into the original equation, and make sure that both sides match up. This is the most important skill that you learn in Algebra 2, other than a good work ethic and how to do things diligently as unto the Lord. But this is pretty important, but not that important. Anyways, let's do this. So we have 3 times this ugly fraction Again, I want to break the x's out of my fraction, or these parentheses, so I'm going to distribute. So 3 times 5 is 15 over 6. Don't just cancel those, you have to distribute, just like you always would. Minus 3 times 5 is also 15 thirds x. There's an equal sign in here. Equals, negative negative becomes positive, and negative. Now, I'm going to bring all my x's to one side. I'm going to bring all my numbers to the other side. But since I have fractions all over the place, before I do that, I can actually get rid of the fractions. But maybe we'll learn that in a later lesson. So let's get rid of this x. We'll move it over here. And I'm going to get rid of this 15 over 6. Again, we're doing the opposite operation. So if this is positive, I'm subtracting. If this is negative, I'm adding. So what is negative 15 thirds plus 1? Right, that's what we're doing here. 1 is the same as 3 thirds. So I have negative 15 plus 3, which is negative 12 thirds x. What do I have over here? I have 1/2 minus 15 over 6. I need these to have a common denominator, so I'll do 6 and 3. 3 minus 15 is negative 12, 6. Well, I know this number better as 4. I know this number better as negative 2. So the answer is, if I divide by negative 4, x equals 1/2. Again, you can take that, plug it back in at the top, and make sure your answer is correct. Alrighty, and that is our problem set. So, thanks for joining for Algebra 2 lesson